Welcome to today's Daily Fire. Today's topic is this: the body is the key to making more money. Sit back and relax and welcome to today's Daily Fire. So, what could I possibly mean? Because how does your body, your physical body having some cannons, how does that have anything to do with making more money? I did not understand this for many years. Many years. Last time I was like really a fit guy was in my early 20s, and I was just doing it out of vanity reasons. Actually, was a model for Buckle for a while. Like I was like, oh, I got to be shredded, I got to be ripped. And really all I did was lift weights a lot and not eat. Right? So I became really skinny, and it was just kind of the pathway for me. So that was back then in my early 20s. But I did not realize what I just said, the title of today's show, that the key to making money actually is in the body until about 5 or 6 months ago. And I have been into fitness for a long time, meaning I've always enjoyed it. I like to be outdoorsy. I like to do stuff, but I've never really taken it serious, and I'd never connected the fact that my money was directly tied to the way I treated and handled and operated inside of my body. But 5 months ago, I decided to take it serious. I hired a coach, and he basically throttled me, right? He basically exposed me and showed me how weak I was being inside of my body, how weak I was showing up inside of my body was then spilling over in other areas of my life. And at the time, I'm jumping on stages. I was on stages emceeing live events, lots of them with tens of thousands of people. And I would get into these stages and these events, and I felt like I was in full power capacity, and I feel like I'm doing a great job, etc. And everything's going great. And it wasn't until I started to actually work my physical body and break through all these thresholds and start to feel like I was actually a weaponized human being. Once I started feeling like I was a weaponized man, the craziest thing happened. I started to operate in more power and more certainty. I did not realize that the key to your self-confidence comes into the way you treat your body. The discipline that you can exercise in exercise and the food you put inside your body was a direct correlation to my self-confidence. For years, for most of my life actually, I've had a posture issue. Like my shoulders roll forward. I have really tight shoulders. And so I have low shoulder mobility, but my shoulders always roll forward. So I'm always like hunched over like this. My arms are like crouched over, right? And when I'm standing there, and it made me look weak. And I knew it. I even bought braces to pull my shoulders back. So I would put them on underneath my shirt and would pull my shoulders back so that my shoulders would sit back, and I would force them into this position. And when I'm standing on stage, I would forget that I need to pull my shoulders back. And so then I have most of my time in stage presenting, and I'm presenting in front of powerful rooms with powerful men, powerful women who are industry changers, industry movers. And I'm like this hunched over little hunchback of Notre Dame, right? It's been my whole life that I've dealt with this problem, thinking it was my shoulder mobility. I start taking my fitness serious. I start hitting the gym for 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week, intense, like an intense man. I start getting my diet on point. I start disciplining the food I put in my body. I start following my macros to a T. I start to actually implement the things I always knew about fitness. Like I'm a real smart guy. I've had the knowledge, right? But I'm very aware that what you know has absolutely almost zero to do with your results in life. Because if it were just about knowledge, then everybody would be walking around fit as hell and rich. But they're not. Many people walk around fat, sluggish, disease-ridden, and broke. It's not that they don't know how, it's that they don't do what they know they need to do. And that was for me, right? So as I started to do all of this, I unlocked, it was almost like a video game, right? I unlocked a new level. There was like this new level of me. I don't even know where it was. I didn't even know I had a new level. It was like a secret hidden level, right? And I unlocked this level, and the level was self-confidence. And the more I exercised discipline in the body to wake up at 4:30 a.m. and go to the gym and hit it hard, not a weak workout, but to train. As soon as I was training, I started to see, oh my gosh, like there's this new guy. There's this new Trevor J. White. I look back at content I was putting out 6 months ago, and I laugh at myself. I look back at training videos of me standing in these rooms with powerful men, training these powerful men, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Trevor, really? Like that was what you were putting out to the world, to the marketplace? No wonder You were always on this ebb and flow yo-yo inside of your business game and your relationship game because you didn't stand or hold yourself with any sense of power or pride, right? To where it now shifts to where I get comments daily. And I'm not a shredded beast. I look pretty damn good for 44 or for 24 for that matter. I walk around with a six pack. I've got muscles. I got veins popping, right? But I get comments daily about how my physique and how I look. And what I've realized is that it has absolutely nothing to do with my physique. It has to do with my self-confidence. Me becoming more and more fit built the self-confidence inside of me. So it's interesting. That directly tied to my confidence in the ads that I put out. That directly came to the conversations I've had, the moves I'm willing to make, the business meetings I'm willing to set up, the conversations I'm willing to have. And I'm showing up shoulders back without having to think about it. After a few months of me taking this serious and really starting to find this place, my wife looks at me one day. She said, "Trevor, do you realize you don't slouch anymore?" And I looked in the mirror and I wasn't slouching, but that wasn't odd. What was odd about looking in the mirror not slouching is the fact that I was looking in the mirror not slouching and not trying to not slouch. I wasn't focused on pulling my shoulders back trying to have good posture. I just had good posture because I had changed. My mind had changed. Who I was had changed. Personal excellence is the pathway to your liberation. Personal excellence is the pathway to getting the things that you want in this life. It's not about what you know. It's not about what you can learn. It's about, can you push yourself to become better than you were yesterday? And the physical body is the quickest, most obvious way to build you. And when you build you, you build money. It's not the other way around. You don't need to go search for a new job to make more money. You don't need to open a new company to make more money. What you need to do is build you. And as you build you build your confidence, which builds your thought process, and that builds your actions. People that previously would have told you, "No, I don't want to buy from you," they say, "Please take my money." This doesn't just happen sometimes, this happens all of the time. Most of my clients inside of Pivot, I did not seek them out, they sought me out. And I'm not saying that to boast or to brag. What I'm saying is that my vibration, who I am being, my self-confidence, my energy, and my power, they get people to gravitate towards me. And I made more money because I became fit. Isn't that wild? I don't care what your industry is. I don't care if you have nothing to do with fitness. I don't care if you work in auto parts. I don't care if you're an accountant. I don't care if you're a lawyer. I don't care what your industry is. There is an instant recognition of who you are when you walk into a room or you walk in front of a camera and you are lean and fit and on power. Period. Because you can't buy that. You had to pay the price. Now, you might hire coaches just like I do, and I suggest that you do. You might have people helping you, cheer you on in the silence, but at the end of the day, you're the one that chooses to go work out 5-6 days a week, 90 minutes of intense workout. You're the one that decides what foods you put inside your body. You're the one that gets to determine that. No one else. It's you. And you can't buy that. You have to earn it. So when you show up in those environments and you are ripped, rich, and rare, as one of my mentors, Wes Watson, calls it, like when you look like that, it's an instantly. You have instant respect from people who are fit and people who aren't, because both sides understand the price that has to be paid to get that way. People who aren't fit, they'll tend to justify it. They'll say, "Well, it's not important to me. I'm more interested in kumbaya and my God and my family and my wife and blah, blah," right? Have you consider God gave you this gift of the body. The gift of the body is for you to be able to stand powerfully in who you are as a physical being. This is a gift. He gave it to you. What are you doing with it? You want to honor your God? Honor your body. You want to honor your wife? Honor your body. You want to honor your kids? Honor your body. You want to be the superhero for your kids? Stop making them go to Marvel movies. How about you just be the superhero? How about your kids look at you and they're like, "My dad's cooler than Captain America." Uh-huh. What about that? Right? And the craziest part is that the dollars followed my fitness, even though I had absolutely nothing to do with fitness. So, take a look at your world. Take a look at your world. This isn't across all 4 areas. This is across one area. Take a look at your body. Are you fat? Are you fit? What kind of food do you eat? What are your patterns? What are your habits? Can you keep up with your kids? Do your kids struggle to keep up with you because you're so fit? Do you exercise at all? Do you even care about your body? And I want you to look at your body. And those of you who are not on point, you're not walking around this lethal, that you don't feel weaponized. You don't feel like your body is actually this weapon to be used to produce this life. All of you guys, I want you to just for a second wonder and imagine what it would be like to be fully activated in power, to be a fully lethal version of you. And each one of you, that's going to look totally different. It's not about having a six-pack. It's not about having perforated muscles and veins popping out. It's about being fully activated in who you are. If you're not there, you don't feel that there, you don't feel like you're on the pathway and the journey to there, what's one thing you can do about it today? What's one thing you can do about it today? Pick that thing, figure it out, and then go do it today. Don't talk about it, be about it. Don't tell people what you're going to do. Just go do it and wait for them to ask you the greatest question of all. What have you been doing? Right? It's the greatest compliment you could ever receive. And in the form of the body, this is how you receive it. And then you learn how to cascade the power in the body across all the rest of your life. So that's all I got for you. That's all I got for you. I'm intense on this conversation of the body because I know how it changed my life. It changed everything about my life. It changed everything about me. My power, my certainty, my relationship with my wife, my daughter, my son, everything changed when I started to take this body serious. And now when I walk into a room, I don't question whether or not I belong in that room. I belong in any room I walk into because I chose to walk into it. And that's not arrogance. That's confidence in who I am and who I know myself to be. So, that's all I got for you. As always, it's your boy Trevor J. White reminding you that you're just one pivot away.